Hello, welcome to Waypoint Survival. Today, let's make a survival shelf. Stay tuned. What we have here on the tree behind us, this is a dead black walnut, is a common shelf fungus. And these grow all over our woods. Some of them are very large. And I actually had a lady here one time who was going through some training with her son, and she asked me if I put these on the trees. Well, I didn't. Of course, they grow here naturally. But it's just a common shelf fungus. They can be found on a lot of hardwoods, red oak and various other things. So we've got a lot of them. But I want to show you how to take this and make a great shelf for you during your bushcrafting in camp and any other tasks that you might have, even your kitchen chores. So let's get to it. So the first thing that I want to do is to get out my silky saw here, my Gomboy 240, and I want to cut this a little bit up below here, or above it as it were, and then down underneath it. I'm going to leave this one alone, and like I said before, this is already a dead tree. When you look up to the top, there are no limbs basically left on it, and all the leaves are gone. I'm going to try to cut this fairly straight. And you may have to work at it from both sides, or if with the silky saw you can actually tilt it back. But it just depends on what you're going for here. And we're trying to get into the wood of the tree, not just the bark. You're trying to get past the bark a little bit, but not too deeply. Go to this side and work at it a little bit more. Alright, so now that we've got our cuts, we need to get in behind the bark and pry this off of the tree. I've got my Gransfors Brooks wildlife hatchet with me here, and so I'm just going to chisel away at this top here until I get it down to my cut and just kind of clean that off. Just around where my cut is. And I don't want to go beyond that because I want to try and preserve my shelf and not mess it up too much. Alright, I'll go ahead and work on this and I'll get back to you when I'm done. So now that we have this cut away, we're just open here, we've got the hatchet stuck in like this, and we're going to take a baton and we're going to do our best to split this section off right here by tapping the back of the axe and splitting this section down right here. Alright, so we're making progress, and we just have to keep working it back and forth, and we're going to get there. Alright, and there we have it. The back, and this is how it's on the tree, but if we turn it over like this, it makes a pretty fine shelf. Alright, let's show you how it works. Now that we have our shelf cut out, we want to go ahead and we'll just set this on the ground for a minute and get the tool roll that I have showed you in other videos, and I can put a link to it right up here. But we'll go ahead and open up our tool roll, and over here on this side is our gimlet. And of course, a gimlet is for drilling holes. It's a hand tool for drilling holes. This is the 1/4 inch size, which I use just pretty much exclusively because anything smaller and it's hard to get cords and all that through it when you're bushcrafting. But this is a really neat set of tools, and would encourage you to put together your own set because they're very convenient. So now the next thing we do is we just find a place where we want to put our cordage through. If I hold it, that seems pretty balanced, and we just start doing like this. You just drill it in, put pressure on it. It's got a screw tip on it, and then it also removes material as you work your way in through the bark. It isn't hard, it pulls itself through, and it's a very, very effective, very useful tool. And then of course you just work your way through, keep pulling, keep twisting, and it will come out the back. And I cut it deep enough so I would have some of the actual wood right here instead of just the bark, because if you don't cut it deep enough and you have just the bark, sometimes it doesn't work so good. Alright, there we go, out the back. To hang it, we're just going to use some simple bank line, if I can keep from dropping it there, and go right through, out the back. Alright, and it fell down anyway. There we go. And so this is a very simple project. We can just put it right back where we got it. Now of course when you're at your camp, you will want to make sure and take this to wherever tree you happen to be working on. You won't necessarily use this on the same tree unless you're camped next to it. We'll go ahead and set that there. Bring enough cordage on around to support it. And tie it off. Okay, so we've got it tied with one piece of cord here at the top, but it's kind of wobbly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a second cord down here at the bottom, and I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just putting a square knot at the back. So I'm just coming around here and I'm just pulling it to the tree. You could just hang it on a nail, or perhaps a piece of a small limb sticking out. You could just hang it there. That would work fine as well. But for our purposes, we're just going to tie it off right here in the back. And there we have it, a fairly stable shelf, and I think that will work pretty good. So what can you use this kind of shelf for? Well, even people in the bush, even people with a bushy chin have to shave once in a while, you know, down in the neck and across the cheeks and all that. And so of course we have our shaving kit with us, with the shaving soap and all that. And so what we see is we can hang it up here like this. And set it up here. We've got our little Bushcraft shaving kit with the brush and a safety razor. And then in the bottom here, I also have a mirror, and the mirror has a small hole in it. This is just, this is not an actual mirror that you would find at the store. This is from the automotive store where you buy replacement plastic. You cut this with scissors, and it's very flexible, and it's great for survival kits because it's so thin, and it's just a really reflective piece of plastic, and there you are. But basically you can cut this to any size and shape for whatever survival kit you need. So this is just a great option, and I drilled a hole in it and put it in a small plastic bag to keep it from scratched, and it goes into my Bushcraft shaving kit. And of course this we can mount up here to our shelf so we can see how to shave. So to mount this little mirror, I just cut a little crooked stick, just small enough that it'll fit in the hole that I drilled, and we're just going to push it on in there like that, slide the mirror on, and there we have it. We have our nice little shelf system so that we can shave, take care of things. You could use this for cooking utensils. You could use it for putting other things on it to just keep it up off the ground. But it's a ready-made shelf. If you just do a little bit of work, it probably took me 15 minutes to cut all this off and do it. It takes a little bit longer maybe on camera. But there you have it. There's one other use for this shelf. that maybe you've already thought of that is pretty convenient and doesn't affect you being able to use it as a shelf, but can be convenient at nighttime. If you take your knife, and I've already just gouged out a little hole. This is fairly soft and easy to work with. Blow it out. You could put a stub of a candle down in there. Go ahead and leave your mirror up there for a reflector. And then, you know, at night, and if you need a little extra light around camp, you can always light the candle, and there you go. Now we have us a nice little camp candle lantern, shelf lantern, whatever you wish to call it, with a reflector. Of course, it's going to be very vulnerable to the wind, and it's quite windy today. But as you can see, it does work. And there you have it. That's how you make a survival shelf. This is James Bender for Waypoint Survival. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the links in the description box below, and don't forget to press the bell button to stay notified of all of our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time.